if you had a Mount Rushmore for greatest Big 12 football coaches ever, I don't know who all four of the faces would be, but without hesitation, I can tell you two, okay? Bob Stoops and Bill Snyder. Pretty simple, okay? Snyder, I mean, are you kidding me? 26 years as Kansas State head coach, has a stadium named after him, 210 wins, exactly 100 games above 500, and 2 Big 12 championships. And remember, in 1998, K-State almost got to the national championship game. We know the story. Snyder took the worst football program in college football and made them nationally relevant. Very impressive, but to me, just as impressive is the fact that he's been coaching for almost 3 combined decades, and he's going to turn 79 years old in October, and who knows how much longer he's going to go, but shows no signs of slowing down right now. Last season, the Wildcats went with as many as 3 quarterbacks who saw significant playing time. Of those 3, you get 2 back coming up this season. Jesse Ertz has moved on, but you do return Skylar Thompson, more of the passer compared to that of Alex Delton. Thompson threw for 5 TDs, threw 3 picks, had 3 rushing touchdowns. And just like in almost any season under Bill Snyder, K-State did not throw the ball a whole heck of a lot in 2017. Alex Delton, more of the rushing type quarterback, rushed for 500 yards on the nose and had 8 rushing scores. Dallben Warmack, he comes back for Kansas State, and this is a sigh of relief because initially Warmack had made up his mind he was going to transfer but changed his mind, so he'll stay in Manhattan. That's a plus. But what's a negative for Kansas State is who you're going to be missing in the backfield. That's the fullback, Winston Dimble, and he was an all-star when it came to paving the holes, paving the way for Alex Barnes. Dimble's going to be big-time missed. Another void for Kansas State is going to be the offensive coordinator, as Dana Dimble has decided to become the head coach at Texas El Paso. So you elevate Andre Coleman, the former Wildcat, former NFL receiver, just recently the wide receivers coach at K-State. Now he becomes offensive coordinator, and I don't really think there's going to be much of a change, though, as far as K-State's overall philosophy compared to what we have been seeing lately. The Wildcats do lose their top 2 receivers, Byron Pringle, their big-time threat's gone. He was also their big-time kick returner, and Dominic Heath decided to transfer to Appalachian State. So Isaiah Zuber, he'll become the main guy. He was the main guy as far as number of catches last year. He had 51, had 510 yards receiving as well. Dalton Shum, the one-time walk-on, he'll play a lot more this year. He's made a nice name for himself for the Wildcats. Wildcats offensive line, though, they were superb in 2017, and they rank with Oklahoma as far as best offensive lines in all of the Big 12. Dalton Risner, the all-Big 12 tackle on the right side. You get him back at 6'5", 300, a decorated career already, so you get him for his senior year. Adam Holtorf, he comes back as well. He's a junior playing the center spot. And at left tackle, Scott France, a junior. K-State has the experience on the offensive line. We'll see if the Wildcats can improve, though, on third down efficiency. In 2017, just 33% on third down tries. That has to increase. The Wildcats last year, not too bad. Points per game allowed, only 25, which was 4th best in the conference, top 50 nationwide. But they're going to be hard-pressed to try to match that in 2018, losing 6 of your 11 starters, 6 of your top 10 tacklers. This is going to be an area where K-State, more than ever, will be challenged defensively. You do get 2 of your defenders back up front, even though you lose your terrific run stopper, Will Gary. You got Trey Deshawn up front, 6'2", 305 pounds, and at the defensive end, he's explosive, out of his stance. Talking about Reggie Walker, now his junior year, 36 tackles and a couple of sacks last year for K-State. Linebacker is a concern, though, because you lose your top 2 tacklers who are both LBs. Jade Kirby as well as Trent Tanking are both gone. So Elijah Sullivan will take on more of a role, played some last year at outside linebacker at 28 tackles. And a couple of transfers, we'll see if they can help K-State at linebacker in Eric Gallen as well as DeQuan Patton. Patton, a former JUCO star, Gallen, who previously played at Virginia. The secondary, they do return most of the talent, but they lose their best guy in DJ Reed, who decided to leave early. Reed not only played the corner position, but was also a dynamic punt returner. The Wildcats secondary, though, had struggles. Over 300 yards allowed per game, passing-wise, which was second worst out of 130 teams. That's right, second worst pass defense held from Manhattan, Kansas. The experience is there, but have they gotten better? Both safeties are back in Kendall Adams, 61 tackles. Denzel Goolsby, leading returning tackler. He had 78 stops. And you return a corner in Duke Shelley, couple of picks, and 56 tackles. Wildcats, special teams-wise, got to replace the kicker and the punter. And we mentioned earlier, the punt and kick returners both have to be replaced too. So special teams may be a dicey area in Manhattan this season. A big challenge will await K-State come week number 2. One of the better teams in the SEC, Mississippi State, will invade the Little Apple. And then the Big 12 opener, well, it happens to be the road opener for the Wildcats, September 22nd at West Virginia. A big challenge indeed. The next week, who knows how things will wind up with Texas. Last year, the game went to overtime with the Longhorns winning in Austin. It helps to get Baylor on your schedule. Even though the Bears will be a little bit better, I think Kansas State pulls it out. Second half of the schedule, lots of challenges will await KSU, Oklahoma State at home. You get 2 weeks to prepare for the Sooners, and the following week you got to play at T.C.U. as well. Ouch. But November looks easier in comparison to the other months. Kansas and Texas Tech after that. And last year the Wildcats won on the final play of the game against Iowa State. But this year they have to try to beat them again, this time in Ames. While the Wildcats will probably still excel when running the football, the defense will not do the offense any favors at all in Manhattan. I see K-State finishing 7th this season in the Big 12. That's my look at the Wildcats. We'll see you next time.